Hello, everybody. Well, well, for you guys, I'm going to call you guys growers from now. So, hello, my growers, and welcome to the second episode of the Plant Whisperer 242. Yeah, that 2 seconds there, didn't realize I was live. But anyway, it's a live show. Things happen. And I just want to welcome you guys to our second episode, growers. We are going to have so much fun. Now, I know to my avid growers, if you listened to my tips last week, you may say, Kat, you missed out a very important spot. Well, important tip. I did, and it was intentional. I didn't miss it out. It was intentional because that was going to be a part of episode 2. Now, what was that tip you may think for our newbies out there? I know we have a lot of newbies. And before I start, I'll once again welcome everybody to the show. You may be wondering what this show is about. This is, again, the Plant Whisperer. And this show aims to talk about plants, the health of plants, get more people to love and be able to take care of their plants. So, and in the future, right now, we're in lockdown. But in the future, we plan on visiting and talking to a lot of the local experts in the 242. So that's what the show is about, bringing more attention to plants and the plant industry in total in the 242. So for our newbies out there, fun growing. I know you guys are going to be experts after all of this. So the tip that I intentionally did not talk about in last week's show, and some people might actually say that's the most important tip, it's called water is essential. You know, the whole earth is, I think, is at 71% water. Yes. Say that the agricultural and the growing industry likes to make things fancy. So the term irrigation refers to bringing water to plants and crops for life. Okay. So when you hear irrigation, you're going to think about an irrigation system. You're going to think about a drip system. But as simple as my picture here, I want you guys to know you don't have to go too fancy. You can simply use a pitcher. And as long as it's taking water to a plant, it's actually considered irrigation, okay? So in this show too, I'm going to show you how to not over purchase in this industry, because this industry can let you over purchase, okay? So let's start about irrigation. That's, and again, like I said, some people may argue that's one of the most important steps in growing. I argue it's probably not, but it is very important. Okay, so when you now have chose your location, well, you decided what plant you're going to grow. You decided your location, making sure if it's sunny or not, it's partially shaded. And then you have now decided on what soil you're going to use. You know, you have to decide how you're going to bring water to those plants. Are you going to run an irrigation system? Most backyard farmers like to do a drip system. That's a lot of, it's labor intensive. But what I simply tell any backyard farmer, get 100-foot hose. If you have to extend it some more, get another 100-foot hose and start a regimen if you're going to water. Every plant requires different watering. So if you're going to water daily, every other day, you're going to have to know that regimen. All plants require different regimens of water. So that's something that you're going to have to be cognizant of when growing, okay? Because you have some plants, some veggies, some fruits that don't like a lot of water. So you're going to have to figure out their water regimen and what works best for them and the area you have it in. Everybody's environment is different. So you may go to, let's say, a professional like me and ask them, hey, how often should I water my tomatoes? I always tell all growers, watch your environment, okay? I may tell you every other day, but your environment may retain water. Watch your environment, and as long as your soil is moist, you don't need to water. And especially if you're planting in containers, you're going to have to be very careful on how often you water, okay? Because too much water may cause more problems than you think, okay? So now that we would have talked about watering or irrigation in backyard farming, we would have talked about last week cracking open a bit more into some of the tips. And we're going to talk about a little bit, and I said we'd have talked about soils and how important soil is and that growing medium. If you start your growing on poor soil or the wrong soil, you're going to have bad results. I oftentimes tell growers it's not your fault. Plants want to grow. We tend just to do it in the wrong environment. All plants require different types of soil. So we're going to crack into different types of soil. So if you were like me, growing up in the 80s and the 90s, everybody would have this project where you grew your beans in cotton or tissue and you put it in a cupboard and the bean grew. So that shows you a seed can grow in any medium, be it a cotton, be it tissue, be it soil, but what's best for it. So you may say soil, yeah, trust me. If you start off with the wrong soil, I don't care how good your location is, what you grow it and how much water you give it, you tend to gonna have problems, okay? So different types of soil. There are 4 types. There's sandy soil, silt soil, clay soil, and loamy soil. Either way, so it's all that's over soil, yes. It's all those type of soil. So sandy soil is basically, it's good for drainage. Um, it's not the best for growing, but it's good for drainage. And we have a lot of that here in the 242. We have a lot because we have, for everybody out there, we have a lot of beaches and the soil and the sand sometimes mixes up with the soil, hence giving us sandy soil. It's not the best soil, but it's good for drainage. Then you have silt soil. Now, what is silt soil? For Bahamians, you guys just know it. We all know it as just topsoil. That's the soil with different rocks and different minerals and different broken down debris from leaves and stuff. That's just regular old topsoil. And I may be wrong to say regular old topsoil, but topsoil is actually good for certain plants, people. It's very good. You may be shocked on how good it is, but that's what we consider in the 242 silt soil. It's regular topsoil. Then we have clay soil. Yes, my growers. We actually have clay soil here in the Bahamas. It's in areas you can find it like in the swampy areas. That soil that's very clayey, that has a lot of sulfur. That's what we consider clay soil. It's not really good for growing. The best plants tend to be like the buttonwoods because they hold a lot. They don't allow a lot of oxygenation and all of that stuff. So don't worry about that. And then you have loamy soil. What is loamy soil? That's what most people are used to. Loamy soil is like all that potting mix you buy, all that potting soil you buy. For the most part, it's all that packaged good soil, but it has all the perlite, the vermiculite, all that good stuff in it. That's what they call loamy soil. And that's what most growers use, loamy soil, okay? So you want to be very careful. And the reason I started off with watering as the first topic, because as I would have mentioned a few seconds ago, depending on your soil, that sort of determines how often you water or how much water you give to your plants that you are growing. Okay, so I have a few examples of some of the soil. I'm going to bring it up here. So this, what I have here is, well, I hope you guys can see. This here is what you would more or less call the loamy soil. This is a potting soil. It's not potting mix. It's potting soil. It's very good for growing different plants. It has a lot of different mediums in it. The perlite and the mulch and the different chips in it. It's good for drainage. Then we have here just what I call regular old topsoil. The regular topsoil that you'll find, it's hard, it has the little rocks. That's the regular. Oh, sorry. Sorry, the producer's telling me that's like the regular topsoil, you guys. And that's what you consider silt soil, all good for growing. Okay? So, we looked at soil. I can't see your comments, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me try to pull it up. If I have any comments, oh, I actually have a comment, and you guys, this is live, so I'm messaging. Yes. Okay, we're on the outside, so when you're in the studio, things are more controlled. So you guys forgive me. Okay, I want to see your questions, if you guys have any questions. So I'm trying to go onto the live. Come on, man. It's hot. Let me tell you guys something. Growers, I know you guys see me this fabulous. Yes, fabulous. I know. And this fabulous hat. When you are out here growing, listen, guys, you have to protect yourself. Protect yourself. Wear your coverings. Wear your sunscreen. Out here is hot. So we would have talked about the different soils. Again, this is why we put this show together. You can always review it if you missed a little bit of it. Now, we would have talked about watering. That tip is important. I may get fussed up for my other local industry people that's the most important. But it led into this session. So now we're going to talk about growing. Yes, people. We're going to grow together. What I decided, what we're going to do, everybody out there who's viewing, we're going to grow together. We're going to see our process every week. Okay? So when you're growing, I would have showed you the soil. I know you would have seen my tray here. This is an air carton. This is just a basic air carton. If you do not have a starter tray, listen, the industry is going to make you buy up. It's going to make you want to purchase every new fancy gadget out there. Listen, we're going to give you tips on how to save and grow, okay? So you can use just a simple egg carton here. I have it filled. I decided, you can choose whichever one you want to, but I decided to use good potting soil for drainage, okay? I'm an avid water lover. So I decided to use good potting soil here for drainage. So, like I said, what we are going to do, growers, what we're going to do, me and you, we're going to grow. And every week we're going to come back to see the process. Because I find with growers, a lot of people get discouraged because they feel as if it's only happening to them. No, it's not only happening to you. Okay? You may have planted your seeds and they didn't spring yet, and you figure, I don't have good hands. No. You're going to see live what's happening to you is probably happening to me. And I consider myself a person who knows about plants, okay? So we're going to grow together. We're going to see one or two die. Hopefully mine don't die. Well, we're going to see one or two die together. We're going to see if insects are attacking your plants. And I'm going to show you what to use, because a lot of people come on and they're like, this is what to do, this is what to do, but they can't really show you what to do. So, like I said, I decided to start with an air carton. I did this before the show. And then what you might not notice at the bottom of each one, what I did is I put holes there. Holes to the bottom of each slot. We have 12 here. And then what we're going to do, I decided to grow cucumbers. I love cucumbers, okay, guys? So what we're going to do, so you guys would have already put your soil in, whatever soil you choose. I'm not forcing you to use any one. Whatever soil you choose, use. So what we're going to do, I recommend using, these seeds are really tiny, okay? They're tiny. So we're going to put about 2 in each slot, just in case one don't grow. But all my growers, all your stuff can grow, okay? We can speak a life on your seeds. So we just put it in. You don't have to really dig it in. Just put it to the top. If you guys see, I'm just resting it. Hold on, I might have to lift it up. I'm not used to this angle outside. Y'all, it hot. Y'all protect yourself with it, okay? So, I am going to put our little seeds in. We're not digging it in. You guys are going back to see if I have any questions. Hi, Miss Knowles. We're growing today, eh? We are growing. Okay. So, you guys are going to see that I have here, well, we're a team, people. We are a team. And I'm putting 2 in each little slot. You can put 3. I don't recommend any more than 3, okay? And notice what I didn't do, okay? I'm going back to this. A lot of people like to put their seeds to the bottom and then put the soil to the top. That's a no-no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Y'all, we on the outside. We on the outside. Planting, we growing. Okay, so we're going to put 2 in there. And when this curfew lets up, we're going to be going to some of our growers. We're going to be going to their garden. We're going to be showcasing their garden, and we're going to be showcasing your landscape, giving you the best tips ever. Okay, so we got my cucumber seeds in here. Y'all, listen, when this cucumber grow and I transplant it, we're going to do all the transplanting when they're already grown. We're going to show week for week what to do, okay? So my seeds are in here. I hope I have it angled good. All right? So the reason why we're not putting it to the bottom, I always tell people watch nature. If you look at nature, let's look at a coconut tree. When a coconut drops, when a coconut tree drops its coconuts, it's to the top of the ground. It isn't underneath. And they still spring, right? Okay. You never want to bury your seeds too deep. If you do that, sometimes you're going to have a problem depending on what type of plant it is. Now, if it's a rooted plant like beets, you want it in the ground. Okay? Then we're going to water. I may not be able to show you the watering regimen, but when you water, the water is going to push these seeds down. Okay? They're going to push the seeds down enough, far enough, that what it needs to. So I'm going to go like on the side here. You guys can sort of see me. And like I said, I'm just using a regular like kitchen pitcher. If you guys want to get your hose, if you want to buy a watering can, you can. Local nurseries have them. You can do it. But I'm just using the basic. I don't believe in overbuying, which you don't need, okay? If you don't need it. But if you want to be fancy and fabulous, you can do it. Okay, so we're going to water. Uh-oh, the water's pushing it in. Yeah, I know. I said I'd be on the screen. Uh-oh, it's going to get heavy. So, I want to show you guys. It's dripping. You would not have noticed. I did it earlier. If you're using the air carton, because I know there's sort of a lot of the nurseries, stores don't have a lot of the growing kits. Well, the seeding trays, because there's been a huge demand for it. Use the air cartons. And what I would have done is before the show, I would have already perforated it with holes. So you may see it dripping to the bottom there. I don't know if you guys see it dripping, but it's dripping. It's dripping. And if you would have noticed, those seeds that I would have planted and I put the water in, it's already in the soil. So that's why you didn't need to put it in the soil when you would have watered. I didn't do all because like up here would have gotten dirty and messy. Although this is a dirty show, we get dirty here. But that's simple growing. So start with the air carton. And guys, every week you're going to watch my cucumbers grow. And at the end of it all, I'm going to just give them away. I want to give away the air cartons. Let me clean up my area. We clean growers, people. We ain't messy. We clean growers. I'm trying to see if I have... Oh, God. My phone is running hot, people. I can't see your comments, so I do apologize. We're out in the sun, and it's really hot. Protect yourself. I'm going to see if there's any way I could... If you have any questions, if I could see them. of the produce, you could actually let me know if there are any questions out there, because we're here to answer your questions and help you grow. Okay, nobody would have last week sent me in any questions. So I asked you guys that every week, if you have questions with your growing, send us a private message. We'll answer them. We'll answer them live. I wouldn't answer them. So if you send me, don't think we're being rude. We'll answer them live on the show to help you guys out, because other people out there may be having that same problem. I'm trying to see if we have a question. So growing, you can get a starter tray. If you don't, if you go to your local nursery and they don't, oh, I'm getting hold for me. So, planting more broccoli, beets, carrots, and onions. Yay! Listen, growing is fun. Miss Knowles, start it in your starter trays, okay? Let it spring, let it catch, and then go from there. Growing is fun. And send me some pics, and then we'll show everybody out there how your seedlings are growing. For the most part, these cucumbers that I would have already, what I anticipate for next week, without the presence of snails or slugs, is them to produce like a little seedling, a little shoot. You know, that's what I expect for next week. So I'll bring you those photos for next week. If you guys have any more questions, listen, it is hot. God, listen, guys, wear your hat, wear your sunscreen. It is hot out here. Gardening is fun. But yeah, you guys, this is my time. Listen, I'm gonna baby this, okay? When we start with this, with I could call it he, because they like to call plants she. When he start to grow, if you guys want, and you could give me a call, and I'll just give you some clippings. Because when you're growing your herbs, you need to cut it. You need to use it. Okay. Hey, Berto. Where Shay is? Shay in the yard. Listen here, you guys. Growing is fun. Okay. So I'm gonna show you the progress of our. Let me bring it up here. I'm gonna show you the progress of. Oh, sorry. I am going to show you the progress of these seeds and how they grew in a week. It's dripping all over the place. So I'm going to show you the progress. I just want you guys to see that growing is fun and it's easy. Um, and don't be afraid, okay? You're going to have some mishaps. Hopefully I don't have any on live. So, you guys, if you have any questions regarding, say Shay says hi. Hi, Shay. So, if you guys have any questions on gardening during our live show, you can ask. Okay, so let me recap some of the things that I was talking about. The producer has me recapping. We talked about watering. Okay, so for example, and I chose not to talk about it on last week. Like I said, most growers would argue that watering is one of the most important things. It is. But watering is important depending on the medium that you use. So in this case, I chose, you can see the type of soil. It's very, I don't have to go to this camera. It's very loose. Okay? It's very loose. Can you guys see it? Okay, it's loose. I decided to use a potting soil. So for someone like me, starting importing soil, I'm gonna have to water a bit more. Okay, I'm a bit afraid, guys, about that potting mix because it holds so much water. Okay, so for someone like me, I just like potting soils versus potting mixes because I know I got to water. Okay, um, so watering was my last tip, just because I know it depends on the soil that you use. And you guys may be wondering, what is this disaster here? It's not a disaster, trust me. As I stated earlier, all plants requires different soils, okay? So this here is what we consider regular old topsoil. You can improve it with other composts. Um, Everybody who knows me knows I have a favorite compost, but I'll tell you about that on the slides when you call me privately. Um, but different things like your beets and your rooty types of herbs and veggies, they like this type of soil, okay? So don't don't neglect the little basic things. Some things need it, okay? So that was a recap. We talked about soil, we talked about watering and irrigation and drip systems. If you guys need help with that sort of stuff, you could reach out to us. That's obviously private, where we come and give you a consultation in regards to all of that stuff. And watering basically depends on the soil you have. Oh, sorry, main camera guys. I've been looking at. Okay, guys. So what we're gonna do is, if you have any more questions, you can always private message us, and we'll answer it during next week's show. So I want to thank you. I want you to continue growing. And like I say at the end of every show, let's grow. Let's grow together, okay? Let's literally grow together so we can grow together, right? So you guys enjoy this hot Saturday, sorry, growing. See you guys later.